In this week's episode of the Crushing Debt podcast, surviving the holiday hangovers. So, welcome back to this week's episode of the Crushing Debt podcast. And if you're listening on the day of its release, let me be one of the first to say Happy New Year, Happy 2026. And with me, as always, is your financial
Woo!
coach, George Corbello. George, Happy New Year. How you doing?
Happy New Year. We get to, you know what? We're blessed enough that we get to do this all over again. It was a great part. Again, right now I'm a little bit still hungover apparently because, just a little too much of that eggnog and coquito and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, it's been a great year. Happy New Year to all the listeners. And it's going to be we get to do it again and be prosperous in the new year, man. I love it.
We get to do it again, and I think we get to improve on what we did last year, improve on what we did in 2025 to make 2026 even better.
That is the hope. I don't know, but there's so many things that we need to do in order to, like there's stuff that we got to do. Apparently now again, it's January, so it's all about debt, weight, because we gotta exercise and we gotta lose weight. The new mindset, new year, new me. That's the new mantra. No, it's not the new mantra. It's the same mantra. We just think is this year we're gonna do it though.
Yeah, same mantra, different year. So,
Exactly.
speaking about hangovers and holiday hangovers, how your credit cards doing after Christmas?
Let's just say, it's it could be worse. It could be, but yes, uh, Christmas was a good, it was the holidays itself was very successful. Everybody was happy. Didn't have to, send any kids to their room because they were ungrateful, so that was nice.
That's
But
always nice.
other than that, it's definitely we're gonna have to buckle down a little bit and take care of some debt so that we can get back on track for the other goals that we set
Right.
ourselves. But yeah, it's yeah, like everybody else, I think we had a little bit of a holiday. Whoa.
Yeah. So it was funny this year, Hanukkah or 2025, Hanukkah was December 14th through the 22nd. So the
Yep,
first night was the 14th, the last night was the 22nd.
sure.
And so my mom actually just left as we're recording this. My mom just left town to go home. She came in to buy the boys presents. I got the boys one gift per night. And I actually was able to get Jacob two more presents. So I was able to give him eight. I only bought Tyler seven because my mother in law got him a new desk. And so I told him as his
Nice.
eighth present, I would get him a new dresser to match the desk.
Very nice.
So I still have to do that.
Oh,
And my mother in law is coming over tonight to give the boys their presents. And so I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today. And I was like, yeah, mom just left and got them all their new presents. Mother in law is coming over tonight to give them their Hanukkah presents. And she said, how long do you all give Hanukkah presents? Like, well, it's
forever.
just the 8 nights, but timing. Grandma's, you
Right, it was
know,
just a thing. All right, timing thing. Yeah, makes sense.
Amazon didn't cooperate with the delivery schedules. So it's really only 8 nights or one night of Hanukkah presents or
Right.
whatever it is, but we get them to them when we get them to them.
Right. Just
So
availability, the holidays. So that's the beauty of all this is it's the holiday season. So I
right,
get it. You may still be able to hit them up at the end, but you're still there. Obviously being there for the boys. So that's a good thing.
right.
So good. That's kind of funny. It's like, man, God, you're celebrating forever. It feels like, but okay.
Hey, I saw a meme on social media this morning. Christmas is 365 days away, and y'all still have you all already put your decorations up.
You're already ready for it. Come down. It's all good. I love it
So
though. I mean, so some of the debt stats, right, from the holidays. So, the
right,
question that we always looking at is how are we doing, right? Inflation, all the, scary things that are out there. But some of the stats that I'll throw at you, my friend. So, the holiday spending is still strong. So they're saying the consumer spend right now is around 11.7. So $1,107 on gifts this year, which is roughly about $182 up from last year. And of course, how are we paying for it? Probably 75% of the shoppers are using credit cards. So
Right.
that's a good sign, you know. I mean,
Although so is it 1107 per person, per gift, per what is the
so
$1,100 number?
it says on gifts, so it's probably per household, you know, on average from an household standpoint. Because I don't remember getting an $1,100 gift. I'm gonna
Huh.
have to talk to my wife now. We see what happened there. You know, we
Well,
kind of
but then again, because I keep thinking about it, I think for my household, $1,100 is probably low. One of my kids got the new MetaQuest VR game,
nice.
which I felt like I was rode a roller coaster after I had that thing on for
You got to
5 minutes.
be careful,
I got to get the dresser for the other son,
right?
so I'm probably way above
So you're
eleven
gonna
hundred
bring that
dollars.
average up. So that's but again, that's on average. So, but I think we, you know, the good news is from the doom and gloom we hear on TikTok, right? Is that it's, you know, everybody's broke, but the spending is still there. The thing that worries me is it's still tied to credit cards. So that means, you know, the debt carryover is gonna be real. You know, we're gonna be carrying over some expected debt going into the New Year's after this holiday, and you know that's gonna provide some hangover because oh, it was a great celebration. But then the first statement comes in January. You're like, whoa, we need a plan. We're going to need to address this as quickly as possible.
But so here's the devil's advocate side of that argument.
Let's go.
So yeah, the statement comes in January, you open up the credit card bill and you go, "Whoa." But what if this January
Mm,
you started putting money aside so that next January when you get the 2026 bill, you go, "Oh, okay, I got the money in savings to cover some, all, most. I've got enough to cover 2026 and I've got a little bit of rollover into 2027." One of the ways I think to survive the hangover is to budget for it. And, it's nothing we haven't ever talked about before.
right.
When's the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago? When's the second best time to plant a
Today.
tree right now?
Hmm.
So, for those of you listening that are worried about opening your credit card statements, even if you did, so if it's let's round it up and say $1,200 per household on gifts. That's $100 a month.
That's it.
That's, $20 a week. That
Strategy.
right. So
You're
start putting
talking
it
strategy,
aside.
Sean, and I love the idea itself because that's so there's two parts to it, right? You thinking save, be proactive in our spending. It's and I think having money set aside. You're right. If it's on average of 1,200, divide that by 12, right? You'll be ready by next year for Christmas so that you can tackle the amount that might be needed for next year, what's needed,
Right.
and stay within that budget that you set. But I think the hard part is how do you knowing that it's like, well, I already have a bill, Sean. I've got, and now you're telling me extra money so that I can get ready for next year. Those are it's a great strategy, but how? Like mindset wise, what's keeping me from actually doing that?
Well, and it's, again, it's nothing that we haven't ever talked about before on this show. If you've got credit card debt, one thing you could do is save up money, like we said,
Hmm.
and then you don't use credit when you're buying presents next year. You use that
The first
account,
step,
you use
right?
debit, you use whatever. The other thing is you could theoretically take an extra $100 and apply it to the credit card bill every month.
That's it.
And so at the end of next year, you will have paid it down an extra $1,200. Now that's going to take a lot more discipline
Hmm.
because you don't want to, say, "Hey, I put an extra $100 towards my credit card. I'm going to go out and go to dinner two times and spend
Right.
another 200 extra dollars going to dinner." You don't want to do that, or you don't want to say, "I've been putting $100 towards my credit card every month, and so now my son's birthday is in June. I've got an extra $600 to spend."
Right.
You don't want to do that kind of stuff. It's the old, what, profit first, envelope system, all
Hmm.
that stuff we've talked about before.
Pay yourself first, or profit for. I love that. Yep, you're right. You're right. I think a lot of folks too. The thing that we're saying with this debt that you're carrying over, again, high interest. Their interest rates are still high. I mean, we've said
Yeah.
this before. I mean, interest is between 15 and 23 or 25. Right now, I'm still seeing 25 to 35. You know,
Hmm.
they're not cheap as part of interest. So there any carryover that we have, we are losing even more money as part of the payments that we're doing, and the companies themselves are making really good profits based off of a very good
Right.
revenue. Again, I don't know their profit
Well,
mark, but they're making good revenue off of fees, and
right.
interest, which is crazy.
Which is again where the avalanche and snowball methods
Correct.
come in, and all those things that we've been talking about for 500-ish episodes about how to get rid of debt. That's where all that other stuff comes into play. But what about pausing? What about going back to
Mm.
the good old fashioned no spend challenge?
I think so. You're thinking implement, and you're hinting at it, right? Implementing a no spend going into January. What are you thinking would be the strategy behind that, right? Is there a thought process you're thinking? Like I'm thinking to me, it's like, okay, commitment so that I can, implement a new strategy, right? You can't really put a strategy in place if you're still spending, right? If you're still trying
Right,
to, get your hands around it. A no spend challenge or a no spend for like a pause, right? A pause in the spending for at least 4 weeks that carries you over through most of January, allows you to kind of like, okay, how are we going to tackle the existing debt, and how can we, what's the next step for
right,
for again, it's maybe being proactive and saving for next year's Christmas. So I think those are things, or this year's Christmas. You don't want to say this year, but yeah,
right. We're
but
recording in
yeah,
2025. I get it.
yeah, yeah. So I
So,
think
but
I think that's a good, I love the strategy itself, but like, Sean, is that something I can do? No
absolutely.
spend.
I think the analogy, one of the analogies that occurred to me here is, in addition to credit card debt, what else have we all done during the holiday season? We've probably eaten too much. We've
Oof,
probably
yes.
eaten stuff we shouldn't have eaten.
Check.
I mean, I had a friend of mine give me key lime pie is my favorite. So for all the listeners out there, December of 2026, key lime pie is my
Got it.
favorite. Um,
Check.
I had a friend of mine make me a key lime pie, so the amount of sugar and food and just,
Yeah.
last night we did the traditional on Christmas, we did the traditional Chinese food for the Jewish household. And so I had Chinese food. I ate like garbage. I drank probably way more than, going into Thanksgiving and then my birthday in December and then the holidays and then New
A
Year's.
lot of celebrating.
I'm sure I've had way, way too much to drink, and I'm not just talking about water. Um,
Well,
so
water be good.
what do you do when you get to January for that kind of stuff? Well, you go back to your regular diet. You cut back,
You
or you
slow
cut
down.
out the sweets. You cut out some of the alcohol. It's I think it's the same analogy financially. It's you just watch, you make sure you're budgeting, you make sure you're sticking to your budget. You call the banks, you do all the things that you would normally need to do to reduce your debt load.
No, so you're thinking, so I'm thinking like, okay, let me compare. Like, all right, gotta get exercising. So we need a strategy, right? So you're saying put a budget together. You do the same when you need to go to the gym, right? Like what kind of exercises do I need? Do I need to be running a little bit more? Do I need to do some weights? The thing is, you try not to tackle it all at once. That's the one thing you don't want to, because I would say burnout is real because we're trying to do too much at once. So it's kind of like, let's put a plan together, put something in place. And again, this is for both, exercise as budget, but put something in place that works for you, right? That tackles the goals that you're trying to accomplish. We're not all trying to be Mr. and Mrs. Olympia, right? Olympian, right?
Right.
That would be too high of a goal, lofty goal itself. But like, hey, being able to run a 10-minute mile, in the first quarter could be something equivalent to, saving my first $1,000, in the savings account, or paying off the smallest bill we have. Putting a plan together and seeing how we can tackle that in chunks, right? Small steps make you get the confidence needed to be able to go like, I can do this not only for the first 3 months, but I think I can do this for the rest of the year. And I think that's the putting a plan together that's realistic to what you can manage and handle is probably, something that I would recommend as we start going into into this new year as well.
Yeah. Well, and now's if you haven't done it yet, now is a great time to do it. If you're listening
To start.
to this show on January 1, you've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday
Yep.
before really the year starts. So if you haven't done it yet, now is the best time to do it.
I would agree. Take inventory, understand what's the needs and wants within your budget. We always say those kind of things. Um, Put yourself in a position where, can you automate some of the stuff when we talk about payments or savings, make things a little easier for what you're trying to do. And then, of course, I like the idea Shawn had mentioned, right? Let's save up for the holidays in 2026. A little bit, start with $50 a month and then work your way. Even if you
Yeah.
saved half of the
Right.
1200 that's estimated, that's half that you don't have to worry about next year. This is once again, it's be great to do 100 a month to get ready for a $1,200, a budget for Christmas next year, or next season. But dude, if you did half, that's half the battle you have to worry
Yeah.
about. Like
If you
start
did half,
somewhere.
if you did half, you'd only have to spend $600 instead of
Exactly.
1,200 bucks.
That's
You know,
the
the other
idea.
the other thing that kind of occurred to me, what I do is I let all of my rewards points accumulate during the
There you
year.
go.
And so I think right now, so to your point, if I save $50 a month and I saved $600 at the end of the year, well, I've got about $600 in rewards points on one of my credit cards. There's your $1,200 right there.
There you go.
So you could use rewards points if you have a card with rewards points. You could use the rewards points to pay down your debt.
Right.
You could, sometimes I would take the rewards points in cash. Actually, one thing I noticed for holiday shopping this past season, I tied my credit card to my Amazon account
Hmm.
and it ties in the points on the card.
Yeah, so you can use the points for
So
the.
you can use the
Yeah,
points to
yeah.
buy stuff off of Amazon.
Yep.
So again, saving some money to reduce the future debt burden of the holiday season.
That makes sense. The little things make a huge impact, and I think that's where. And guys, it's not about the numbers. We always emphasize it's a psychological impact, right? Small wins make a huge psychological impact. Can I do this? We're trying to build your confidence to be able to really make a difference on your goals, whether it's eating less or eating right or exercising more or getting and walking. It's all the same strategy. We're trying,
Right,
you need small wins to really build the confidence around the activity, the habit, right? The new routine that you're trying to put in place. And I think a lot of us really go and shoot for the moon, kind of like, oh, I'm going to exercise or I'm going to run, my marathon at the end of January. And you don't realize, like, yeah, the body may work, may not work for what you're trying to do. And I think it's really more of let's build some confidence around some of these items through a strategy that will help you achieve some
right,
of those goals little by little.
right. I think that's the most important thing is just having the strategy, having the plan in place,
Yep.
and working towards. I mean, one of my goals for 2026, one of my credit cards that I let, frankly, that I kind of let get out of control. I've been spending it down, and I paid it down roughly in half over
Hmm.
2025. And so now my thought process is for 2026, I can pay it off. And so, that's those small victories.
That's it. That's it. Let me ask you. I'm gonna we'll do a little lighthearted segment here, but what's the for the holidays itself? Was there any worst impulse purchase for you?
It's funny. I don't know. I'll answer it this way. We have one of the bigger malls here. It's called International Mall here in the Tampa Bay area. It's
Sure.
out by the airport,
Hmm.
and it's probably more high-end stuff. I mean, they've got watch stores in there for some
Hmm.
of they've got a Rolex store in
Yep.
there.
Yep.
They've got a IWC, Omega, Breitling. They've got all kinds of they've got high-end clothes. It's all more expensive stuff. Well, one of the things they have in that store, or in that mall, is a Swatch watch store.
Ah, my God, they still exist? Like,
They still
wow.
exist.
Okay. Okay.
And I used to have one of the all clear. So the band was clear, the face is clear. You can see all the inner workings, all the guts, all the whatnot. So we go into the store one day. prior to the holidays, early late November, early December. We walk into the mall and we're wandering around. We go into the Swatch store, and my younger son found a watch that he fell in love with, a Swatch watch.
Nice.
And so this is both good and bad. So that was one of the I bought six presents, and so I decided to get him a watch. So the watch
Sure.
was number 7 or 8 that I got
Mm-hmm.
him,
Mm-hmm.
and it was, I want to say it was $130, 100
Okay.
and
Not too bad
120, $130.
for a Swatch.
And
Wow, that's pretty okay. But again, back in
so,
the day, so yeah, inflation.
well, that's the yin and the yang of it.
Sure.
So
Sure.
on the one hand, I'm like, he really wants this watch. It's $120, $130, whatever it is. And so on the one hand, I walk in there wearing my Rolex, and to buy a
I
hundred
love
and
to, this guy. Let's just walk around with my Rolex. This guy.
well, but a Rolex versus $130 Swatch watch, the
Yeah.
Swatch watch is a great bargain.
Yeah. It's no, no, definitely.
And then I had another friend of mine say to me, "Why would you spend $130 on a Swatch watch?" Well, number
Yeah.
one, it's not for me; it's for him,
Right.
for
He
my
wants it.
son.
Sure.
And then by the same token, I saw when I was in the store, I saw that original clear watch that I used, one of my very first watches that I don't have anymore. It was that clear Swatch watch with the clear band, with the clear face, with the clear everything. And it was, I think, $95. I almost walked out of the store with it.
Nice. Almost. Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost. I didn't, but
Good.
I almost walked out of the store with it. So I think my impulse buy was, maybe did my son really deserve a $130 watch? It's Christmas,
Right.
and I get all the arguments. It's a watch versus an Apple Watch or a,
Hmm.
smart watch, something like that. But then at the same time, I was kind of proud of myself that I did not walk out of the store with that other watch,
Yeah. It's only
because
buy one get one.
when the heck would I wear it?
That's the thing, right? But here's the thing: a lot of times, it's the nostalgia, right? It's kind of like, oh wow, we did this, or I had these kind of things. But that was big. Like you didn't have the impulse to kind of say, you know what, not the right purchase, not the right time to do that. So
Right.
that's because some other folks that I think I would have been like, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's like it's only 95, which is crazy, when you talk in that way. But it's
It's the
one of those.
holidays.
It's the
It's the
holidays, right?
holidays. I deserve it.
Sure, like exactly. Like I ended the year well. You know what? I'm gonna give myself a gift that I deserve. So
Right.
you went through a lot of steps there to really kind of like all right, do I really need this? Is this something that, it's going to bring us value? Is it going to bring me value?
Although I could have used my rewards points, and then based on girl math, the
There you
watch would have
go.
been free.
There you Yes, it would have been free through girl math. So I appreciate you putting that into perspective for us.
There you go.
As
What
some of the
what what
listeners
about
like this guy.
what about you?
So for
Same
me,
question.
I think the biggest the one for me was there was so again I'm a I would say video connoisseur, video games and stuff like that. There was a like a limited release for one of the games, like a Super Mario Galaxy game itself, and I'm like, okay, they have it for the Switch. It's for the newer systems. And I'm like turning around and I'm like, okay, so we, made a purchase for the gift. It was a gift that we were providing. But I realized I'm like, yeah, I'm a collector. I have those same two games for the older systems, and yet I'm purchasing the same game that I have in the closet already. And I'm like, yeah, why did we do that? I'm like, we already have the games. I could just, but my daughter said, you know what? The reason why is we can't really just take out those old systems. I don't have the old systems to play these
Right.
games, so I'm gonna put it on the new. I was like, yeah, I don't know if that helped because we still spend an extra $60. Video games are very expensive. I mean, between
Oh,
$60 and $70 each. So
I
yeah, that's sort of a
I
regret.
so the night that my younger son got his MetaQuest, my older son got NBA 2K 26 for his
26, nice.
PlayStation 5.
Let's go. Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and that was and then so I get home one day, my mom had taken the boys out shopping, and they went to Best Buy, and my son came home. Have you heard of this? The PlayStation Portal. Have you heard of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. It's a handheld. Yeah, it's the handheld that complements the
Right.
PlayStation 5. Yes.
The problem is I don't think my son, and certainly not my mom, knew what the heck it was. And so
That makes sense.
they just thought it was cool, and my son convinced my mom to buy it for him.
Nice.
And then he got home and he couldn't figure out how to use it. And so we almost returned it until I started doing research on it so I could figure out how the heck
Yeah.
to use the thing.
You have to
It's
connect it
basically,
to the PS5. Yes.
well, yeah, for those that don't know, it looks like a controller for a PS5. It looks like a combination between a controller for the PS5 and a Nintendo Switch. So
Correct.
on the very right and the very left, it's got all the buttons and the joysticks and whatnot. And then in the middle is a screen,
Screen.
the kind of the size of a small tablet computer. And basically all it allows you to do is play games that are already on your PS5, but from anywhere.
Correct.
So you could be on the
In the
road,
house. Could I just
at
say
that
anywhere in the house, not anywhere?
anywhere you have a Wi-Fi connection.
Correct.
Well, and that was part of the impulse buy part of the story is that they do have a thing with Nintendo or PlayStation. They do have a thing where you could do PlayStation Cloud, I think is what it's called.
Hmm.
So you can hook up the portal to the cloud, and then you can literally play from anywhere for the low price of like, $20 a month.
20 bucks a month or something like that. Yeah.
And so I finally said to my son, no, we're not doing that. You can play anywhere you want in the house. And the idea is so my son can be playing a PlayStation 5 game that's preloaded on the machine
Hmm.
in like the living room. And my
Correct.
other son can be playing on the PS5 a different game on the PS5 itself.
I
I
think so.
think.
I think
But
so.
that's
Not sure.
but that
As
was
as our
another
listeners who are younger are like, what is these two old fools talking about
right.
right now? Like these
What
guys
are
don't get it.
these
Don't worry,
guys
we'll
totally
chat
don't
GPT
understand?
it later. Don't worry. We'll take care of it.
But my point is that was another
That's
impulse
a
buy
definitely
that
an
I,
impulse buy. Like, do you
I'm
really
not.
need it? Mm-mm.
And for $20 a month, that's $240 a year.
Yeah,
Again, if I say no to that, that's $240 that I can put in next year's kitty for
correct.
presents.
Correct. No, there's a few. I gotta say, with my gaming habit and my my side hobby itself, that can definitely those kind of purchases are always like, oh my goodness, there's a new system coming. Oh my goodness, I need to have this latest and greatest. And like, nah, it's for me. I think the other it kind of reflects or is very similar to like the Apple phone every year, right? You need
Mm-hmm.
a new phone every year. It's this the technology seems the same, but because they slapped another number on it, there you go. That's the reason why I need this new phone kind of thing.
My son is counting down the days until he's eligible for an iPhone upgrade. Mean, Meanwhile, for me, the iPhone, I wait until my iPhones literally fall
Yeah, it's
apart.
like
Like,
dead. Yeah.
yeah, I think I've got an iPhone 12 or 13. What are we up to now? Like 17?
17.
Yeah, so I've got a 12 or a 13, but prior to that, I had a 7.
Phew. That you definitely wait. That's a long time.
I
I
wait.
give you credit. I gotta say, my kids though, my both my girls they've been using their it's an iPhone 14.
Okay.
So they haven't I think that's coming soon though. Both of them are gonna be like, Dad, yeah, it's time that we need a newer phone. But I was like, I'll give you credit. You've gone through a few generations of Apple phones without complaining too hard. So I'll give them a
Well,
little bit of credit there.
that and iPhone cases.
Oof.
So I bought this iPhone 13, whatever I have, 13, 14. I bought it probably just about 2 years ago.
Hmm.
I've had one case on it the entire time. In that same period of time, my boys together have probably been through 10 cases.
Yeah. See,
I,
I'm gonna even one up you. No case. No case. I was at a Target shopping and stuff. The I was paying, they have the app so you can pay through the phone and stuff like that. The girl at the register, she's like, I could never survive without a case. How do you do it? I was like, you treat your phone gingerly, I guess, if that's the case. You take care of your stuff. But
uh,
yeah, it's a little thing. Cases, yeah, I could see one or zero. That makes more sense for that.
not to go off on a tangent, but
Oh,
my wife had an OtterBox wrapped in bubble wrap. surrounded by foam, and still would crack the screen.
That's a
I have
skill.
no idea.
That's a
Because
skill.
she would put it in her purse along with everything else.
And
She kept
still,
her car in there. She kept everything in that damn purse.
I love
So
it.
anyway, so what were we
Uh,
talking about?
so we were just doing some holiday impulses, but getting back on track, sticking to your financial goals in the new year, right? I think that's what for us, that's what we need to do. We've gone through the holidays. The money is already spent, guys. So we need a plan to be able
Yeah,
to start the new year, uh, not worried and being stressed about that debt. And we need a game plan itself to be able to take care of it. And love the idea Shawn gave us all. Let's prep for next Christmas because you know what? Christmas is still on the same day.
it's
Hanukkah
gonna
sort of on the same day, but it's still
same
in the
time of
same
year,
same time of
same
year. We can
same
we
time
can
of year.
plan for those times of year. So I think it's imperative that a little bit more proactive allows us to be better prepared next year
So
or
I'll
this
tell
year.
you, I'll tell you right now, Hanukkah in 2026 begins December 5
Oh,
and
that's really early.
it ends December 12th.
Okay, so that one you have to be a little bit more prepared. You might have,
Yeah.
exactly 12 months.
It's
So
probably the night of the 4th and it ends the night of the 12th,
interesting. Okay,
I
well there you
think.
go. Nicely done. But
Yeah.
I think, we've shared some wisdom, we shared some stories. I would say it's a new year and it's a great time to be ready for to get to do all of this again. And enjoy it and then
And
have fun with it. And, let's not be so stressed and enjoy life a little, but have a plan and strategy so we don't have to be so stressed about that anyway.
and if my calculations are correct, we are 4 away from episode
What?
500.
Dude, dude, that's
So
pretty big.
what would be great for us is if you wanted to support the show, if you would go to patreon.com/crushing debt. You can help support the show there. Anything you donate to us goes back into the show.
Hmm.
Also, we've got at the end of April, we've got the Purple Stride Walk. We'll be getting more information out about that as we get closer to April. But if you want to go, I'll have the link to my team in the show notes. Other than that, Happy New Year, George.
Happy New Year to you, your family, to everyone listening. It's a good. I'm confident that it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a prosperous year. I imagine we're going to talk about goals and for personal and business. But let's just enjoy the last bit of the holiday season and get ready to really, I would say kill it in 2026. But I'm
Yep.
looking forward to it for sure.
Watch some bowl games, root for
Woo!
your team or against
Or
your
against.
rival, and NFL's going. Teams are
Yeah,
being eliminated.
there'll
Teams
be
are making the
something to
playoffs.
enjoy. That's for
Right.
sure.
Basketball. I heard the NBA. I heard Charles Barkley was whining about NFL scheduling games on Christmas.
I
But
could see why. It was a first for me as well, but I think Netflix paid some good money
yeah,
to be able to broadcast those. So I think there was a reason behind it. But hey, I think the
uh,
NFL's not going to complain
God, that was
about
the other thing
competition.
having to turn on Netflix to watch the NFL.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah,
So anyway, I think that will do it
that's
for.
the end of the tangent.
I think that will do it for this week's tangent. And I hope everyone out there has a happy, healthy, prosperous 2026.
Absolutely.
We still have episodes that'll be coming out. We will talk to you as we move on in the new year, and we hope that everyone has more money at the end of the month rather than month at the end of the money. And we'll talk to you in next week's episode.